to finally make level 3. Hold
Rude. Finally.
on. And you now are, uh, you spent your time in Brinebog, kind of acclimating to the city, getting involved with the local comings and goings of various towns. About a week after your adventure to the lighthouse, uh, things have slowly settled down. You do from,
Mike, sweetheart, Mike.
from the walls of the city, you. I'll just turn up my mic real loud. How about that?
It's just been, odd like lately.
Yeah. Okay. So as I just got derailed.
Sorry, the walls of the city.
Yeah, from the walls of the city, you kind of hear a halt. You are not allowed near the city. Go back to where you came from. And does anyone speak lizard?
Lizard folk?
I don't believe so.
I'll check though. Nope.
Okay, so
Lizard folk is not the same iconic, right?
no, it's not. I'm gonna turn my
What do I
test a
see?
little bit.
Sylvan.
Yeah.
So is this the morning after the party, or
No, this is like a week later.
okay? So I will.
Yeah, you agreed to build me my own room on deck.
Right, and we were going to meet for brunch to decide what quest we were going to go on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we were doing that the morning after the party.
Okay, so then we will rewind. I forgot about that. So the morning after the party, you guys meet for brunch. What are you guys gonna do?
Okay, so this is going to be after Venrilla's session with the young lord whose name I am blanking on right now.
You don't need his name.
It's fine.
It's fine. He has been scolded and educated. And Venrilla has collected her 5 gold for the day after educating him on proper diplomatic ways to stealthily talk to someone, as well as the other things she was hired for.
Uh-huh.
And then we meet for brunch.
Yep.
By the way, then the young lord's name was Anders Solmar.
Anders Solmar. I do have a note.
And Marsh wanted to detect magic about the ship.
Oh, about the ship?
Yeah.
Yes. Give me an Arcana check though, because it's a little confusing. Most of the time when you use detect magic, it'll tell you what school it is, but you're getting multiple things going on.
Oh, that's a good thing. Always. It's every time.
I have a question for the DM.
Yeah.
For the spell Gust, is that spell strong enough to propel like fill a ship's sails to help us move along faster when we're at sea?
9.
Or is it
Um,
more like
Give me a second.
I can only push up?
Gust or gust of wind? Just because I'm curious now.
It says gust.
Okay,
It's a transmutation. It says I can propel things forward. And it says up to 5 pounds, like an actual creature or person. I can shove back, but I'm not sure since a boat's on water if it would be like useful. Because if it
I'm
would be
going
strong
to-
enough to.
Let me look it up real quick. I will let you know.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Maybe it'd be like an extra boost. Rev the engine or something. I don't know boats. I should do some research if I'm going to pretend to be a captain, though, huh?
It depends on the size of the boat, I assume,
Yeah.
but not sure in
So-
comparison, like what it would do with our boat.
Yeah.
It is strong enough. However, like it's a little weird because it's more like a puff of wind than it is a sustained blast of wind. So you would have to just like constantly cast it. It would be more like the puff out of a bellows than it would be. So cantrip. So, but you can do it at will. So, like, if you wanted to just stand and just constantly cast it, you could probably get an extra 5 knots of wind, 5 knots while you were casting. But
Yeah, like
it
you're
would,
fanning
I
yourself.
would,
just
as the DM, say eventually you're going to have to take some Constitution saves in order to not exhaust yourself, basically blowing into the sails.
Does your character have asthma?
However, there is a spell called Gust of Wind, which does actually like create a change in. So yeah, you could use it that way. If you're like ever in a time when you're being chased or something, it'd probably be a great spell to use for that. But like for just travel, you'd probably exhaust yourself more than you do it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and John, what did you roll on your check?
9.
With the transmutation, you detect the transmutation thing over the cold storage room that you had before. There is actually some abjuration in your dry storage area. You think that's more to keep out humidity than anything else? Other than that, like most, I mean, it's essentially a smuggling storage ship. So you have a lot of things that keep things cool or dry. You do notice in your main hold, actually, as your detect magic goes through there, you don't detect magic, but it actually feels like your detect magic spell is being suppressed. Like there might be something like anti-divination in the main hold.
I'll let them know. Just have some conversation at brunch.
Oh yeah, I think Vichy and Vanrilla are really excited about that.
Yep. Oh no, don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. You know, it's good to know that there's not too much nonsense going on with the ship, but let's discuss, I guess, where we're going next. I was approached by the manservant whose name I cannot recall at the moment.
Aaron.
He's here. Is it
Oh,
Actually, and then he disappeared.
He's cooking right now. He can
Oh.
hear us.
I'll just leave this on so I can answer you when I'm doing that.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna turn it around so you can watch me cook.
Oh, goody.
Whatnot.
Yay.
Yay, it's a
Mr.
cooking
Chef.
show.
So are we saying Ned is actually cooking us brunch?
Yeah, oh, I'm saying a extremely like generic Rao shows up and is waiting your table wherever you guys are having brunch at.
All right. Not so subtly eavesdropping.
Yep.
I forget. Yeah, sorry, the manservant's name. I heard you say it, but
Scarin.
Scarin. Or Garen?
Garen.
Okay,
Skerrin.
All right. I'm glad I asked because I heard that wrong. I'll just say that I was offered a job to investigate the presence of the lizard men to the east. I don't know if anyone else is interested in going to take a look-see at that. I'll look at Vanrilla.
Oh, you know, I'm totally up for that. My side job is pretty flexible. It turns out.
Okay.
Is it though?
It really is. He's way more flexible than I expected.
You think he's been?
and I was
Socially and physically. Out of character, wasn't Vanrilla also offered a job, but by Ponzi Anders?
I was not.
Subtle way. Who was it? Someone was.
Yuki.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryuki was offered the job, and Vinrilla just overheard because he was doing such a terrible job of being stealthy.
Yeah, and I just covered it up with the people around by buying extra drinks for everyone.
Oh yeah, if they're drunk, they won't remember.
Mhm.
Okay.
I bought them a couple more rounds to keep it.
Oh, I'm
Hey,
coming!
let's
Hold
talk
on! Oh shit! I'll be right back.
Can you let us know about some ruins?
Well, we were offered a job to investigate him.
Oh,
I-
the manservant? Scary.
to investigate Scarin and find out what
By
he's been up
Anders.
to in the shadows. And Scarin told us of some ruins that I believe he hopes will be our end if we go to them.
That sounds.
I don't know, I think Scarin likes me.
That's true. Well, we could
requested I leave town.
kill two birds with one stone, do this job for Scarin, and just as we're working with him, keep an eye on him for Ponzi Lord Anders. So see what they're both up
I
to.
would be willing to agree to that. However, I think we have a third iron in the fire as well that might cause us a bit of trouble
Ah,
on
that
both
can wait.
fronts.
All right. What are your concerns?
Bet they'll slit our throats as soon as we enter the door, naturally.
Well, I mean, there's always a risk of that. What was
Well, at the party last night, I observed an unusual presence watching us. What? Octopus baby? What is it? Kraken baby? I don't know.
Yeah, whatever the Kraken baby is.
cute little Kraken baby? It was. You said it was watching us. Oh, that's what. It is
Harmless.
adorable. Look at him. He's so cute. Look at his eyes. Sorry, I want to hug it. All right.
I believe, I don't know who all, but several people in the town I believe to be infected with mind control or are not all at once, but individually being controlled by this. So we may want to watch our step as we gather information on it.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, we'll make sure.
Always watch your step in this town.
I could use some more water, sir, when you get the
This
chance.
creepy drow just interrupts you as you're having a meal.
Then wanders away.
Okay. All right. Well, there's always going to be complications. We may as well get started on the job. We'll take as many precautions as we can and try to keep an eye out for, I guess, both this Kraken and any possible backstabbing political shenanigans. If I remember right, also out of character, I was advised not to use the Crimson Zephyr to get there, not to go on ship, but rather on foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's more of a. I mean,
Pretty sure we have to go
So-
into the swamp, right?
no,
Yeah, we would. No, I thought I said we would be crossing the swamps.
you go by land. You
Okay.
go by,
Microphone, please.
I can hear me, so. But anyways, no, I can hear me through my headset, so it.
It's weird because
Is it all swampland?
Well, yeah. So
Sorry.
if you go by sea, you'll come into a cove and you'll be able to get where you're going. You'll still have to cross a little bit of swamp. If you go by land, though, it's going to be all swamp. It's going to be all marsh.
I would say that we were advised that this would be the stealthier way to get there. I'm not opposed to it if we can leave the Crimson Zephyr here and go on foot. As much as I would hate to leave behind my beautiful new ship.
Well, we have a week. The slip fees are paid up for a week, and that captain handles security for the ships after being paid, right?
Yeah.
I'm asking you, Scott. That should be something Vichy and Venrilla should know.
I assumed.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So,
All right.
so the ship should be good for a week.
Okay.
Have it on my coat.
You don't know that, Chester. You're making assumptions.
Dang it.
All right. I guess we have a week to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to head out that day?
I would actually, if we are deciding to wait a week, I would go and speak to Scaranian. No, you want to leave today?
Wasn't planning to wait a week. I was saying we had a week for the slip fees. That if we wanted to leave the Crimson Zephyr is going to be fine for a week.
Okay. I would want to go and pay an extra bit to see if I can, if we need to leave it there for, I don't know, another week, but then if I don't need it, get that deposit back.
Yeah, Captain Zendros is really
Yeah.
a deposit person.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
And you would actually. He's not one to give up coins he has.
All right, fair enough. So then, yeah, I guess we can just start packing. If anyone needs extra gear or things, we can get started on that.
We have a question. Technical.
Yeah.
Is shaped water able to be used to drown? Because it says a 5-foot cube.
Like you can
Yes
shape it
and
on a
no.
person, right? Oh.
The issue is if somebody were to stay in the shade water, yes, but you can't because of how initiative works. You'd put the shaped water over them, and then they would just swim out.
But if they were paralyzed or restrained in some way.
Yeah, if for some reason they couldn't escape the shaped water, and you just put it over their head, yeah.
Oh, okay. It would have to be in conjunction with something else, though.
And that's just how movement works. I know it's a clue.
It says
I'm sorry?
I can freeze water in a cube that size, for an hour, but I can't do it with an object in it. It says provided that it is creature free.
Shape the water into their throats, Chester.
Yeah, you can't do
Basically,
that.
you would just fill their lungs. You can't?
So here's the thing: it has to be a space. A creature is not a space.
There's an open space.
But yeah, I know. So
Space.
we'll get into
Sorry.
the physics of D&D at some other point. But creature, spaces, and objects are all three different things.
Okay. Oh, I have a question before we go on to the party. So, we initially hired y'all separate for the lighthouse thing, and that is complete. Are we banding together as equal on the boat? Are we joining forces or just still?
Well, don't forget, some of us are more equal than others.
Yeah, I don't trust you.
He had to pop in with his
Still have
face.
Ned has still not earned my trust. So
Rightly so.
I deliberately direct this to Vichy. Since we have assisted in acquiring you a ship.
Sorry, one more time with the question? I got distracted trying to read the chat.
Are we deciding to join forces just to complete these our separate jobs, just because they seem to run alongside each other to give assistance? or are we actually joining forces in an attempt to complete each other's jobs as a one unit?
I thought
It's-
we became crew. I mean, we were talking about building the area
Yeah.
for her on the ship.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Are you sly asking if you're going to be in the crew? Yeah. No. And Nishio, if you want to, ooh, that moved everything. If you would like to join the crew, I'd be more than happy to have you. You've both been, I think, fantastic. So even if it is on a limited term basis, we could definitely work something out if you want.
You also know that you can't really run that ship with just two people. Kind of impossible.
Can't what? Sorry.
We can't run the ship with just the two of us. We actually do need a crew.
I know, but shh. We're pretending. We're pretending that this is all just like really friendly and there's no necessity, and it's not like they just want
So-
for my ship.
What Ryuki is getting at is her status on
Yeah.
the ship. Like,
I would be more than happy to have you guys as
to have
crew
an
members.
equal- a say in what's going on, and not just like a deckhand. 'Cause
Oh well, you wouldn't be deckhands. You would
be a
be
deckhand.
no.
Ship's healer, right?
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
have. You wouldn't be deckhands. You would have titles that are befitting of your abilities and your education and status and all of that. Absolutely, yeah. I would still be captain. Venrilla was my Is the right term second hand? What's the right hand for that, or the right term for that?
Well, Vanilla, so technically the correct term in this
First
Sale
mate,
would
isn't
be-
it?
no, it'd actually be quartermaster, no first mate.
Quartermaster.
Okay.
However, Vanrilla's skills would probably not make her a quartermaster so much as a master at arms, or possibly gunner. But you don't really have guns on that ship, so I'm gonna go with she'd probably be actually your master.
Yeah. Basically, Venrilla's filling both those roles until you decide someone that would be a better quartermaster.
Yeah, I was gonna
Remember
say
that
whatever.
quartermaster is responsible for the navigation side of your ship, and really is
Okay.
probably not best navigator.
It's not there.
Well, it would be then whatever title Venrilla wants. Basically, I'll call her whatever.
I don't know what that's.
Yeah. So no, you guys would not just be deck apes or anything like that. Don't worry about that. It would be whatever position you want on the boat, really, in the crew. No deck
We'll
apes,
just check.
knuckle draggers. I've also heard puddle jumpers. That's another one that I've heard.
No, that's the Coast Guard in general.
Oh, is it? Okay. My dad uses that. I'm like, you Googled it. I know you did. I know you didn't know that ahead of time. All right. Well, what would you guys like to do on the ship? What would you like to have a kind of dominion over?
Let's see. I just want to be on the ship, honestly. I think that's
Yeah.
where I'm
Okay,
to be.
so
But
Okay, I actually want to
Yeah.
clarify something because actually going to have a mechanical thing. I need, if you guys are going to be talking about your individual positions on the ship, you probably need to figure out what those are before you set sail, because each one gets a special ability for when you go into ship combat. Like the captain
is what
gets
we were
to
just
give
deciding.
orders, the master at arms gets some abilities, combat associated. Quartermaster gets some abilities.
okay,
Really
you're still
bad.
having problems with your mic. You keep cutting in and out.
I'm not having problems with my mic.
We are having problems with your mic. It is not just me.
Okay. So,
Yeah, it fluctuates for us too.
okay. So,
That's better.
your individual positions have an ability associated with them. Captain gets some abilities to basically inspire like a bard. The Master at Arms gets some extra combat abilities. The Quartermaster gets some extra abilities to help the ship move faster and get away or to approach. And So I think that's it for special abilities. And there's like deckhands and stuff, and the more you have that, the better your ship performs.
Yeah. The gunner, if I remember right, also got special abilities, but it was specific to the armament, which we really don't have.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Specifically.
Oh. 2 for me.
Well, I'm a druid, so I have like
Augustus.
healing and just
Level 2 for you too.
certain spells that might be handy
So
about the ship.
if Ryuki, and this is out of character because Vinrilla doesn't know enough about druids to know this, if Ryuki is
Yeah.
proficient in survival, she might actually make a good quartermaster.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
I was
So
thinking-
there actually are 3 other positions that I forgot. There's the
Okay.
bosun. The bosun is best to be the person with a high strength score, as they're the one responsible to actually fix the ship. The ship's surgeon, which will help with healing abilities, and the ship's cook, which I really won't have mechanical advantages here because it has to do with keeping the crew happy, and I'm not going to get into crew morale with you guys. So
Okay.
Okay.
So for Yuki, I would actually suggest either the surgeon or the quartermaster. And apparently Ned is going to be our cook.
Yeah, but then we have to trust you to prepare our food, and again, you haven't really done anything to make me want to let you make my food.
I haven't been here. It's been a month.
That's my point. You just abandon us for long stretches. I'm kidding. It's fine.
Someone's getting some X-Lack at her dinner.
Point proven. Thank you very much, sir.
Scott, between us, whoever she hires as a cook is actually going to be Ned. Ned, you're going to do it.
You do know that you could have actually like voice whispered that to me. Like you didn't have to
I know, but I'm
declare
kidding,
that.
and I just don't care enough.
Also, I'm just still gonna hire Ned. It's fine.
I'm spiting her right now.
I'm joking out of character. Calm down. You're so touchy. Eat your food. You're not you when you're hungry.
So what are you guys doing?
I think we were deciding what Marsh and Ryuki wanted to do on the ship.
Okay.
Did any of those things appeal to you guys?
I think one of us is going to be surgeon and the other quartermaster.
Yeah, we're just trying to see which person would be better suited to the job
Okay.
because we both have some spell casting ability.
Neither of us are trained in medicine, but
But I have more of an affinity towards it because I'm a druid.
Okay. I will let
Like,
you
I can-
know the version usually requires a higher intelligence score. The quartermaster requires a higher wisdom. So whichever one of you has a what?
let's let you be the surgeon because my intelligence is low.
Okay, my wisdom and intelligence.
I know.
What's your wisdom?
16. Neither of my scores are as high as yours, but my intelligence is much lower.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So
Then.
I'll be surgeon, you quartermaster then.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So Landers, way we gotta go. And this entire time, Ned has been serving you food and eavesdropping on you creepily.
Great.
So are we going by land or by boat?
We're gonna go by land.
I did want to pull Ned aside at some point. We have a week to do this, so I'll assume there wasn't any problem. And just say, Ned, I know you weren't part of the deal in the first job that we did here in the city. I want to give this to you, and it's 20 gold and a small and whatever. This as a trust.
I can buy new boots,
We bought
This
you
is a
boots.
but I can buy new boots.
So you have a foot fetish. Got it.
No, but you didn't buy me the nice boots.
Well,
There will be many more jobs together that I hope you will be able to partake more fully. And
Even my big graces he needs to come up with something.
Just for this,
it's a,
extra dessert for
this
you.
is a little.
Yay, dessert!
Let's see.
all right. Well, since this is probably already in the afternoon by the time we've finished eating, why don't we
It's brunch.
prepare and get? Huh?
I mean, it's brunch, so kind of.
That's fair. Still probably better not to leave at night. So, will everybody be ready to leave in the morning?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'll just send a note letting them know that the governess is not going to be available for a few days. Excuse me.
All right.
White festival.
And I would have spoken with Ned as well if he wanted to be the cook. That would be fine, and let him know that we were going to leave in the morning.
Ned will procure cookware.
Is Ned proficient in cooking? No, because I remember his character. He is not proficient.
He's gonna learn as he goes. He got the job because he's good at learning, and he picks up skills really quickly. And
And you don't have a crew anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
we needed someone to fill the slot. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so unless anyone has anything else to do, day goes by quickly. Morning comes the next day. You were given a rough estimate of what direction to go. Ned, you've been there before. It's been a while. You were not Ned at the time, but you were probably Ted.
I was a different Ned.
Yeah.
I was a different man back then.
I will let you go. Ned, you would actually know there's multiple hazards in the swamp. The biggest is probably the bullywug. They are. They're actually not the biggest threat. The biggest threat is crocodiles, but in terms of like organized threat, there is a kingdom of bullywugs that like to harass travelers.
Ned's going to tell a lot of sea stories, some of which are his, some of which are embellished, some of which are completely made up, some of which are overheard. They will all be his as far as anyone is concerned about his adventures in this swamp and the dangers of the crocodiles and the alligators and the bullywugs and a couple other strange creatures that he's going to completely make up.
Oh yeah, Vanrilla just kind of rolls her eyes during his stories because she.
Hey, maybe you should look at my role before you think about that.
I didn't realize you were going to do a performance check. So she really enjoys the stories, like thoroughly enjoys the stories, but knows that some of the shit is made up.
That was going to be my thing too. Is she's like totally enjoys the camaraderie and the stories and everything. Keeps in mind that some of it may be real, so keeps an eye out for some of the things that actually exist, maybe. But yeah.
You know, pirates, we like to embellish. I don't know what you want from me.
Hey, pirates too. We get it.
Ned has gained has started to inch his way into Ryuki's good graces because she's a kitty cat that loves stories.
No.
Aww.
Okay, so I'm gonna need a survival check from somebody to cross the swamp.
Who has a good one?
That's a good question.
Ned did it. We're
Apparently
good. We're
Ned
done.
actually understands.
Ned's been here.
And actually, during his story of the demonic frog people as the bullywugs, who he embellishes, he basically tells stories of slods, even though most of you know what a bullywug is, and they're like 4 feet tall and pretty much are, except in large groups, are usually pretty harmless. Um, you actually, Ned, you stop, kind of look at the ground, and realize you have inadvertently snuck up on somebody. It's now approaching evening too, so it's getting to the point where you probably shouldn't be traveling. You know it's going to take about 12 hours of foot travel to get where you're going, and you're about now 2 hours away, but sunset is about an hour from now. You've been traveling a while.
Wait, so we snuck up on somebody?
Yep.
But
They don't know where yet?
Well, Dad just said that there's something up ahead. He managed to notice something.
Okay,
So let's stop and be quiet, and someone.
I can cast Pass Without a Trace because I have it prepped. It'll last
If we're sneaking
if
around.
we're sneaking up, but it'll cover the whole party.
so long as we stay within 30 feet of you.
Yes.
Yeah, if we want to be sneaky and see what it is up ahead, sure.
I would really appreciate that if we're stealthing up, because
Yeah,
It'll last up to an hour, so depending on what it is.
All three of you stealthy. I don't know who the guidance.
Is Ned stealthy?
Oh,
I'm-
it's Venrilla. Oh,
I'm stealthy.
Venrilla. I will guidance Venrilla
There you go.
so she can go up, and I will stay put.
No, you
all
have to
right,
stay
and
with
that's
your-
1d4.
Yeah.
All right,
So can I get
So-
stealth checks from everybody that's going to go?
and we add the 10 plus 10 from the
Plus
Pass
10.
Without a Trace.
Yeah, plus 10 bonus to your dexterity, your stealth.
Oh, I'm so glad you did that.
Okay, that's a 19.
Venrilla.
I got a natural 20 on mine.
What just happened?
Okay.
I rolled a natural 1.
And so did
So did
Vicky.
I. To
I
hell.
rolled a
Wow.
natural.
Okay, Ryuki,
16.
thank you so
I was
much.
testing
Is
It's a good-
Ned going to sneak?
Is
Oh,
Ned coming with?
sure.
Anyone within 30 feet of me will stay.
And if I stay far behind, do I need to roll a stealth check?
No, if you're staying behind, you don't have to.
Well, I wanted to stay at least, I don't know, 100 feet away or something.
Okay,
like
that means that you don't get the plus 10, but you do have to make a stealth check.
Okay, then I'll stay put.
Yeah,
I'll just
wait, so you'll stay put our. Okay. So I guess we're.
He's gonna stay
you're about,
30 feet, but stay back.
yeah, I mean, the trees are pretty dense here, so it's not like, I'll say that if you wanted to stay back, you're gonna start like 300 feet away from them if you're staying put.
Trust me, it takes a while to make that distance.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with them.
Okay,
be close
stealth check.
then.
I
I
don't
mean, you
want
can't do-
another miss getting squashed by the
Yeah,
tire
you're good.
bear.
You got a 28. He got a 28.
Oh,
Okay,
you're fine.
So that's fine.
Even more than that.
Okay. 30.
What these guys get. So okay,
Oh, both rolled ones. That sucks. I
Well-
am glad I guess.
okay, yeah. Approach them. Nobody seems to spot you. They're not asleep. But there's these 4 foot tall like frog people, all kind of sitting next to a fire. They look like they're setting up camp for the night. They're kind of croaking at each other. Doesn't he speak? What do you speak? Aquan?
I do.
Oh, then you actually know what they're talking about. The Ingolbagar. We have not eaten in a long time. You promised us food for this journey. The lizard folk have been overeating, my good sir. We must venture on. The humans have food aplenty. Tomorrow we will rob from them, and we will eat our fill. Oh, good. I have not had pink flesh in a long time. Good plan, Gulbakar. And it's kind of muttering from there.
Huh. All right. I would love for Shayna to get back because I want to share this with everyone, but she's not. So I'm going to share what whispering to you guys. Oh, she's back.
What I missed?
I will say there is a grand of 8 bullywugs there. There's 6 like serfs. There's one that actually looks like bigger than the other, and one that's the same size as the other like serfs. Only he's wearing like a purple robe that's been like waterlogged and a tiny crown.
Venrilla is going to whisper to the rest of the party that these bullywugs seem to be starving.
Oh,
That-
also I should mention there's also tied up back end of the campment a giant toad.
Like a normal, just a giant toad.
Yeah, like a 10-foot around toad.
All right, so Venrilla is going to share with the party that these bullywugs seem to be starving. The lizard folk have been overhunting the area, which, if I remember right, we had heard in the village that there was some of the aquatic peoples that were overfishing, which were causing problems with the lizard folk, but I'm not entirely sure if that was a different thing we were talking about at some other time. It is the thing. Okay. So,
We might try to eat our bats.
yeah, we got the bats. So, I will share that the lizard folk have been overhunting this area because their normal hunting grounds have been getting hunted, basically, or fished by the creatures that are avoiding other things. And these bullywugs are planning in the morning to go after some of the human pinkskins and probably eat them.
So not good.
I don't know exactly how you guys want to go about this. I mean, we do know they're hungry. We don't have a whole lot of supplies on hand, but we do know they're planning.
Might last an hour. Be aware of that. Whatever we decide to do, if we're moving past or invading their camp, we only have an hour.
And so, real quick, so my understanding, we see 10 of them.
8 of
8.
them, right? And
Eight
plus-
of one giant.
And
Oh, it was a 10-foot toad. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. So we see 8 of them and a giant toad.
they are planning to attack some humans in the morning for food.
Yeah.
Probably going to eat the peoples.
Yeah. No, let's just kill them.
Up to you.
The question is, yes, Ned?
8, 4. And
Yeah,
he's
but bullywugs aren't bullywugs small?
5. There's 5 of us.
You can release the toad
They are
and get it.
small. Give me nature check. I don't know all of you.
All right.
All of us, huh?
By the way, one of them is medium. One of them is definitely big.
Okay. Is it the one in the crown?
No.
Aw.
Nature. The toad's the one in the ground.
The one of the smaller ones, the one with the purple.
I would love to see a 10-foot toad in a cape and a crown.
challenge accepted.
So cute.
9.
Challenge.
Apparently, my
And so I multi-class into druid so that I can summon a giant toad.
9. My nature check.
but then I put Crown of Madness onto him and send him after you.
Ned, you actually know. So yes, bullywugs by themselves are not particularly dangerous. They are, however, they tend to coat their weapons in poison. They are relatively quick, and they can move, and they're amphibious. You guys are in a swamp.
Why don't we just steal their weapon?
Ned's going to outline all of that, and then he's going to add, and just because we only saw them,
That's the
doesn't mean they
concern
don't
I
have friends scouting that would come back. And
Fair.
he's like, just kind of talking just like that, like, that might come back.
They might also be exhausted because they're clearly starving to death. But fair point. I was concerned about there being hidden backups as well.
I will
we-
also let Vanrilla know with her check, because it's in her nature. She kind of notices that not nearly as. So it's gaudy. It's not. Those are real, like diamonds, gems, that crown.
Oh,
I will definitely share that with Vichy.
oh,
But I'm whispering and all of us are leaning together, so I'm actually sharing it with everyone.
yeah.
Ned, do
Can
you
I
think
steal the crown?
do you think a Bollywog might be open to be a ship hand, or is it just a moot point and we should kill him anyways?
Maybe?
I think the options are let's kill it, kill all of it, or just keep moving.
I don't know. I mean,
Let's put a ship vote.
You do have the drop on them.
Yeah, so raise your hand if you think we can take them. I'm not voting right now, so this is everybody else. Raise your hand if you think we can take them. No confidence. Yay! There we go. I like you. Gonna like pat Marsh on the back, like, if it wasn't for the rest of these cowards, I'd be with you. All right, let's keep moving.
Also voted yes. I know it's tied.
Wait! I want to try to steal his crown.
Oh my!
I have Pass Without a Trace going. She said that it was valuable. It might be interesting.
Do we want to try and steal the crown and when it all goes to hell, slaughter everything? Or TPK?
I get fascinated by the crown. It's a weakness of mine. If I get fascinated, it's hard to pull me away. It's just the way my character. So I want a closer inspection of the crown. It might be worthless to me after, but I want to see it up close.
Okay, I'm gonna need another stealth check. You have basically disadvantage because you're gonna be walking in the middle of these people, but you still have Pass Without a Trace on, so we'll see what happens.
Is there a convenient canopy that she could crawl through?
because she is a tabaxi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing he needs the reason I rolled is because I'm guessing he needs it from all of us. 'Cause we
No,
have to
I just need it from who is ever going to try to steal this crown.
I got a 26.
I got a 34.
No, never mind. I got
Wait,
more than 26.
didn't realize yours wasn't with disadvantage.
I got a
Oh, sorry.
32.
Ned's gonna unlash his chair from his back, find a dry spot to sit it down in, and then he's gonna sit on his chair with one leg crossed over the other, and just kind of
I
like
have a 32.
watch this pan out.
As long as you're within 30 feet of me, they won't notice you.
Okay, so Ryuki, you actually get really close to this crown. Like, I think I just lost.
Well, I don't know. She might actually be able to. We're gonna give him a chance. She might actually be able to grab it because Vinrilla kind of fucked up, and they probably noticed Vinrilla.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Is
Oh boy.
Let's just give him a chance because something happened on their side.
Yeah.
I am gonna need initiative from everybody.
Okay.
Woo! Initiative.
We can take them, guys. Come on. And if we can't, who has backup characters?
I have backup characters for days.
Okay,
Yeah, right.
sorry. What I was letting you guys know is Ryuki, you actually managed to grab the crown. And about right when you grab the crown, like taking it off of the king's head, you hear a snap in the woods as Vinrilla like tumbles into the into the muck. And all the bullywugs just kind of look at that. And actually, you have that crown in your head because the king doesn't even like. So now the crown is yours. Like holding it.
I'm going to pocket the crown. And is Vibrilla like noticeable now, or is she
Oh
still?
yeah, I need
bit-
everybody to make initiative checks.
Yeah, we made initiative checks.
I was trying to back you up. I was trying to back you up.
You did. Just not in the way
They
it
turn
did.
towards. This is also important. I grab the crown. They all turn towards Vinrilla. Is Vinrilla like behind me, or was I to the side? And so like
I'm
they're
about
looking away from me.
You're behind them, and Vinrilla. So like where they're facing now, you're actually behind them. You're probably closer to the giant toad. Like you're right next to the king, but the giant toad is behind you. But the giant toad is like asleep as far as you can tell.
Reroll. It was cocked.
Okay,
But
straight.
Plus
12
4.
plus 4.
16 initiative for Ryuki.
I have a 16 initiative. If I'm behind them and they know and Vinrilla drew the attention away, would I be able to like do a sudden, because she kind of blew the cover, would I be able to just, because I'm standing right behind like the head guy, like
Right.
attack him with my claws, since that doesn't require me to draw anything?
yes, actually. So what's going to happen is the surprise round. Pretty much everybody is surprised except your character. Your character is the only one that like is going to be able to move during the surprise round. So yes, you get to you get a free attack against the king with advantage because you do move before him, so he's still.
I have
Make him dead.
my claws. What is that? What's that attack thing?
Regular attack. I mean, you
No.
have natural.
The thing that I it's a natural weapon, but I prepped it. The spell I
Oh, the one that was
Uh,
right
primal
there.
savagery.
Primal savagery. So
yeah, average. Can I use
Okay.
that?
yeah, you
Yes.
I don't know how that works.
So
So-
you're gonna roll a spell attack against him.
Instead of a claw attack.
can. Right. So it is going to be your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus. So I think your wisdom is 18, so 4 plus 2. It should be a d20 plus 6.
I guess, is that better than my basic claw attack? John?
Oh yeah, by a lot.
This is going to be a lot better because it also does more damage than your claw attack does.
Well, kind of.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
Plus
She's not a monk.
So 13.
13 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you.
That's not with advantage. Can I roll again with advantage?
Yeah, you have
Does
advantage.
Rolling
You-
it with
yeah, you-
advantage mean I get a roll again?
Yeah, with advantage means you roll twice. You get the higher.
Take the higher.
And she does have natural claw weapons.
I know, but your natural claw isn't.
That's better.
I was answering Becca
Okay.
about the monk thing.
23.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll a d10.
Okay, so while Mary's rolling, let me explain, John. I know that Ryuki has natural claws because I've played a Tabaxi druid before and love the primal savagery spell. The primal savagery spell is going to do more damage potentially than her natural claws. Her natural claws, while she is proficient with them, still only do the claw damage. It never ramps up, and it's not like special damage. It's just slashing damage.
So I rolled a 4. Do I add anything to that?
No, it's just 4 acid damage.
So primal savagery, she gets to roll a d10 right now for her damage. Her claws don't get that high of a roll for the damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Bullywug Royal screams out in pain as acidic claws dig through his back. Okay, so now we go into a normal round, and so that would be, it looks like, it looks like it's actually the standard Bullywug's turn. So all 6 of them will turn.
Really?
Yeah, they rolled a 20 on their initiative. I'm doing them all at once because there's so many of these guys.
So they got more
Higher
than
than a 22?
22?
Oh, who got a 22?
Ned
Oh,
did.
Ned did. So
The guy
Ned
that was
is you.
waiting.
Oh, Ned. Sorry.
Has anything made a sound that their plan has gone awry yet? Because I said that I was going to sit in my chair and wait to see how this planned out.
You hear a scream coming. Well, you would have heard a squish, squish, splat as Vanrilla face planted, and then a bunch of bullywugs like screaming out. You don't speak Aquan, but the Aquan equivalent to intruder, and then another scream.
Well,
Am I
after I
forbidden to run out the attack?
I'm sorry?
Like after I surprise attack, I like clawed down his back and then just hightailed it in the direction of the toad.
Yeah, you can just you run towards the
Because it'll
toad.
cause them to have to split. Because
Yeah.
Vimbrilla's on one side and I'm going in the opposite direction of Vimbrilla.
Yeah, that makes
Just
sense.
to divide the party up some.
Okay.
So Ned will heavy sigh, stand up out of his chair, hike it up on one side, draw out his hand crossbow, and start walking until he is in range of where this combat is effectively starting to erupt. I don't know how far behind I am from where we were
So
discussing.
I will say, so normally you'd actually be in range of your hand crossbow, except the trees are so dense, you actually have to spend basically your entire turn hitting.
Right.
hitting.
Okay. That's how I'm spending my turn.
Okay, so now it's the 6 bullywugs' turn. 3 will go to defend their noble, and it's a good thing that Ryuki backed up, because otherwise they would have been able to get attacked, but they have to spend basically their entire turn getting to Ryuki. And but 3 of the other ones are going to attack Vinrilla, who is currently prone.
Oh.
I drew 3 of them off you.
Wait, 18 to hit.
I am gonna go. Yeah, that hits. I won't do my
You
thing yet.
take 2 bludgeoning damage as one of them bites into you. And then he will also take a swipe with his spear and misses. Another one will bite into you. 22 to hit. So another 2 points of bludgeoning damage. And then he actually is able to spear you into the shoulder with his short spear. So you take 4 piercing damage from that one. The final one bites into you. And this one bites hard into your neck. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. And this one also gets a spear right into your calf for 5 piercing damage.
It's not you. It's another chance.
He's still up.
Yeah, I'm still up. I was considering using one of my superior dice at one point, but I think I'm going to save it for the next time I'm gonna get attacked.
Okay. Who had higher than a 12? It looks like Marsh and Vinrilla.
Marsh should go first, and then Vinrilla.
Okay. Marsh.
Oh, and also Ryuki, because Ryuki had a 16, right?
13, I think.
13.
So Marsh, you're up next.
Okay. Vanilla got hit pretty bad already. How are they clumped up? There's 3 of them right on Vanilla.
Yeah,
and
3 of them are like
right-
in a triangle formation, beating the crap out of Vanilla. Yeah, other 3 more are like running toward, and have actually already passed by their king. The king looks really confused and is like the acidic wound in his back. And then there's the toad that Ryuki is actually really close to being near.
Nobody's been hit by poison yet. Ooh, what to do?
Is Is the toad like?
Oh, and the large toad is actually like, he looks a little passed out in his chair and is actually slowly waking up right now. Sorry, I forgot about him.
Who?
There's a larger bullywug.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the toad creature? Is it like tied, like a beast of burden sort of thing, or
It has a
like,
harness on it, but it looks more like it can move around. It's more tame than it is like. So
So it's like it was a horse to them,
Yeah.
essentially.
Essentially. So Marsh, what are you doing?
Well, I don't think a heal is going to do a whole lot of good right here with 3 of them on Vanilla. What is it? 1d4 plus 3 or
None of them are hurt. I only hit the king.
2d4. What does this do at second level? Shatter.
All right.
Get it in a sphere on all 3 around Vanilla.
Okay, you're gonna hit Vanrilla too. Now, actually, she's prone. I will say you can aim it up high enough that it clips the top of their head and not clip Vanrilla.
It's also range and 60 feet, so I can place it.
Well, no, because
away
they're
from her.
surrounding Vanrilla. So that if you were on the ground, you would.
Oh,
But I will say, because she is actually like prone in the muck right now, and they're all standing up, you could probably actually aim it high enough up at the top of their head. The shatter is thunder damage, so.
and channel divinity to maximize that.
Okay. So it's a Constitution saving throw from them?
Yes.
Okay.
16. 24.
Oh, I'm not even gonna roll. They have 11 hit points each, so even if they succeed, they still die. So you just
Okay.
see all the bullywugs that were biting into Vanrilla, their heads just pop like somebody squeezed air out of their skull. It's really gross. And really, not only you're covered with swamp muck, now your back is covered with toad goo. As
Awesome.
his heads just explode from the thunder damage.
I'm looking a little manic. Vanrilla, you scared the shit out of me.
So
If I'm near enough by, pat on the back, like, good job, Marsh. Hell yeah.
So unless there's anything else Marsh is going to do, I think it's Vanrilla's turn. So I'm going to stand up and wipe the muck from my face and go, where the fuck? And just give a thumbs up. So I've used half my movement to get up. I'm going to move forward 15 feet towards the other bullywugs, which
Okay.
I don't think I can get
You
there.
cannot. They are now 45
will
feet
she be
away.
passing the king?
She will be within 5 feet of the king.
Oh, yeah. So, first and foremost, I'm going to use my bonus action to do my... Yes, my second wind to regain 1d10 plus 3 hit points.
Probably a good idea.
And the other one.
DM things.
Okay.
Okay, so I will regain that. Which wasn't great. But then I am going to go ahead and attack the king.
Okay.
My rapier. And that is a +6 to hit. And I whiff, I'm pretty
You whiff terribly.
There's gunk in your eyes. It's the
There's-
bullywug
yeah,
juice.
it's totally, it's stuff in my eyes because I
Just had a team of bullywugs explode over you. I just love the visual of it for some reason. It's really, really gory.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna be using that. Next time it happens. So that is my turn. I have regained a few hit points, and I am now in melee range with their squishy king.
Okay. I never said he was squishy. But, okay. It is now Riki's turn again. You are now really close to the giant toad. You have 3 foot soldiers within, let's say, about 15 feet of you, approaching you. You have the crown in your bag.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull up because we're doing flipping through. Okay, how close am I to the toad?
5 feet away.
5 feet is, and the toad has a harness. Is the harness tied to something to keep it from wandering?
It's more like it is, but like you get the sense that it could easily like move if it want to. It's more of a signal to not let it move.
Does it seem like with the commotion that just went on, is it disturbed at all, or is it just calm?
It was asleep, and it's kind of it's only been like 6 seconds, so it's kind of doing that like blinky eye, like what the hell is going on thing. Like you ever, like when you wake up a cat and they don't want to wake up, that's what it's doing.
So this matters. What direction is it facing? Like, am I running up to its head, or is it facing like sideways?
It'd be sideways. You're on it, like I guess it would be its right flank. And it's just kind of but it would be facing towards the combat. But you're like running saddled up on its right side right now.
I'm gonna use Thorn Whip and see if I can send it like headed straight at the 3 coming at me. Then just spook it into it.
Okay, go ahead and I think it's an attack roll for Thorn Whip.
Do it up.
And I'm within 5 feet of it, so.
So it should be a +7.
So it's a D20 plus 7?
Yeah.
Trying to keep my balanced. 23.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage, and it gets pulled like 10 feet. It is now like basically blocking the advance of your. Like it doesn't like slam into them, like, but it's kind of there, and approaching bullywugs like getting to a halt because they don't want to run into their prince's prized pet.
Wouldn't it go towards them? I'm hoping it hops on them or something. I rolled a 5 damage.
Okay.
It's 5 piercing damage.
I got it.
That should do something.
It hurt it.
Okay.
It's got a pretty thick skin being as large as it is, but it did hurt it.
Hurt it. I'm trying to cause a distraction.
Okay.
But
We'll see what it does when it's.
the 5, so.
We will see what it does when it's its turn. It is now the prince's turn, who will now turn to Vinrilla. And in common, a worthy duelist. And he will take out his royal spear. And he will make 2 attacks with it. Yeah. And he does actually go out. Defend me, come, my faithful mount. While he's challenging you to a duel, and the toad looks like it's like wakes up and is actually looks like it wants to do something. But the king is going to make 2 spear attacks against Vanrilla. Both miss, I'm pretty sure. 9 and 11.
Both miss. And I am going to use one of my superiority dice because he missed, and I'm going to use my reaction to make a melee weapon attack against him.
Okay. You're going to riposte?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Get
Okay.
him.
He's able to deflect it with his shield.
Fair enough, but at least I tried.
And now he's after that little dance, he's looking embarrassed and he's really mad, and so now he's going to be cheap and try to bite you. 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
You take
I've
4
been in-
piercing damage.
I've been in those fights where they're just not good sports.
Mm.
They're just like, fine then.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't feel worth using a superiority dice to minimize 4 damage. All right.
Okay. And then it would be Vichy.
All right. A duelist. I'm gonna run up and start fighting him too, because people keep hurting my Vanrilla, and I'm not chill with that. Am I close enough that I could get there in 1 round? Okay, then yeah, I would run up and start with a rapier strike, which if it succeeds, let's see, hold on. First of all,
It hits.
okay, I was gonna ask, since I'm a paladin now, Divine Smite.
You don't have 2 levels of paladin.
I don't. It's on first, I thought.
Oh,
Sadly, no.
Divine Smite is
Oh,
a
I was
second.
thinking Divine Sense. Oh,
Yeah.
damn it. Okay, fine. I got really excited because I was going to do this whole bit. But fine.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was just going to do like, oh, wouldn't it be cool? Fine. But I'll
Okay.
follow it up with my dagger anyway.
Okay.
I was going to be like, oh, she doesn't know what's going on.
The 21
All of a
also
sudden-
hits.
All of a sudden, she has magic and she thinks it's really cool, but it gets. I had the whole role play in my head, and
Okay,
it's fine.
you still managed to carve some damage. Get the sense this guy's quite a bit tougher than her standing.
Okay.
Mike,
Bleeding slightly. Still standing, bleeding slightly. He's just like, oh, so you must bring in your companions. Very well. I shall summon mine. At which point...
you already summoned yours, fucker!
At which point that large bullywug approaches and will attack Vichy.
Uh-oh. Rude. I'm already engaged with someone. Can you step back and give me some space, please?
He actually doesn't start...
Wait, your turn.
He doesn't actually start like attacking you. Instead, he starts with Lorpat and just starts singing.
Oh, I already hate it.
I
already
need
hate it. How do I make
need
that?
Vichy, Vanrilla, Ryuki, and actually Marsh, you're out of range. So I need Vichy, Vanrilla, and Ryuki to all make wisdom saving. As
What is
this
it?
horrible, it's not in tune. It is this horrible company able to have like multiple throat singing, so he's able to do multiple like pitches at once, but they're
Right.
discordant.
Saving.
Yeah.
What's up? Yay.
17.
Okay.
What happened to me?
Okay, Vanrilla, you take 3 psychic damage. VC and Ryu take 1.
I rolled a 17. So
Yeah.
1.
Take one.
You
damage.
take 1. You take half damage of 3.
Right. You succeed.
Oh my god, your companion sings so horribly! What is going on?
I think she sings beautifully.
Well, you're wrong.
Oh. Oh, are you guys like frogs? The females are actually bigger?
You moved it.
Sorry.
Probably.
At this point, the last member of their group is like, but what I was truly asking for is ARP, and ARP will bound.
Exactly. You already called for ARP.
ARP will bound behind Vichy,
Oh fuck.
and I don't think 8 hits.
Nope.
No,
I
thank God.
Okay, now it's Ned's turn.
I am going to go. Oh wait, no, I already. Never mind. Belay my last. Never mind.
Besides, that was Vichy, not Vanilla. That was against.
Multiple never minds. I am sorry.
Okay,
Please
Ned,
continue.
it's your turn.
Ned decides to try and shoot that jackass back that's singing horribly.
Okay. Yeah, that hit. For 9 piercing damage. It.
And 11 sneak attack.
Oh. So it's like it's going blood, blood. As your arrow sinks right into its vocal cords, and she falls dead into the swamp.
Ned goes ahead and puts that back in, then he pulls out a sword and he says, "Anybody else?"
You know what? You were a good investment, Ned. I hope the shirt is comfy, and you're doing great with the hand crossbow.
Okay, the bullywugs will continue to chase after Ryuki, who will. They can't attack this turn. Again, they have to dash, but they are now surrounding Ryuki.
Where is... And Ryuki did have her... Yeah, she did. Never mind. So they're surrounding Ryuki.
Yep.
And I believe Marsh is up?
Marsh is up. John?
Yes. I was relaying information to Mary. She's dealing with the yappy puppy.
Okay.
Sorry, there's something going on.
So what am I doing? Oh, I know what I was doing. Don't think I'm doing this round, but the spell rules are one spell only or one spell, one cantrip?
The rules are effectively one spell, one cantrip, but the actual rule is if you cast a spell as a bonus action, you can't cast any other spell except cantrips that round. The only reason that's important is if you're a fighter, wizard, hybrid, you can actually cast 2 spells in a round because you can act. But effectively, one bonus. If you cast a spell as a bonus action, your other spell has to be a cantrip.
Okay. The king guy, is that the one Ned shot dead, or is he still alive?
The king is very much still alive. The giant toad is still alive. There's
Okay.
bullywugs still alive. It was the singer that shot dead.
Okay, then finally, can I get within 10 feet of him?
Yeah, I'll
Or
say you
so?
can.
I will run up, give Vinrilla a healing word.
Aww.
Yay! Thank you. Heal her. I was gonna pat her on the back, lay hands in a minute.
And at the same time, I'm going down to one knee. Please, sir, you haven't the heart. You haven't the heart to destroy us poor souls.
Big quivering cower. Yeah.
Yeah.
What, I forgot. What did that do?
Gives him disadvantages on attacks. Anyone within 10 feet of either me or him.
Okay.
Come on.
Kobolds are so fun for that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Vanrilla, you're up.
Vanrilla looks slightly confused as to everything that just happened.
He like ran up, healed you with a pat on the back, and then threw himself on the ground.
Well, he did a healing word, so he's
Yeah.
not even necessarily like...
It's a safe word.
Yeah.
But you're not
Hope you feel
cowering in
better.
front of this like haughty prince frog person. So the frog goes like, "This is proper respect. This is what I expect of you people."
Venrilla goes, hell no! And is going to attack again. Does
That
a 20
definitely hits.
Oh, thank goodness I'm not useless. Alright. And so 1d8 plus 4.
Yeah. And you can use the superiority die to up the
Yeah.
damage.
I just give me a second. Superiority dice. This is gonna be a. No, that's the damage. I don't want to push him away.
That's the only one that you have is a billionaire.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to use the superiority dice on this.
Okay.
So 7 points of damage, but I will go ahead. If that doesn't kill him, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't,
It does not.
I'm going to go ahead and do action surge,
Okay.
and I'm going to attack again.
That
16.
hits.
Oh, yay.
That barely hits. But that hits.
8 points of damage.
Okay. He's still up. He's looking mildly hurt, but he's still up.
That's okay. I have done something successful in my turn.
Okay. Ryuki, it is now your turn. You are surrounded by these three, like, foot soldiers.
Okay. Besides the soldiers, how far away is the king in them? Are they within 15 feet?
No, they would be about 30.
Okay.
Right. We're also right next to the king guy.
I was just curious. I needed to know. I am going to cast Thunder Wave.
Okay.
Since I have 3 on 1.
Okay, that's a Constitution saving throw from them.
Yeah.
Get him.
Weirdly, they all succeed, but go ahead and roll your 3d8 damage.
It says on successful save, the creature takes half as much damage, but isn't pushed.
2d8.
2d8.
So it's 2d8. 3.
I cast Shatter that other time.
I know. Oh,
That Shatter was
I
3d8.
need 2d8. I don't have 2d8. It's a d8. These two?
I don't know, is that? That's not.
That's not. I need another die. So. Thank you. 11.
Okay.
Do I have to roll 3 times? Or just one?
No, just once. So
Okay.
yeah, they're able to resist the force of being pushed back. Kind of non-existent ears, honestly, but they're able to resist getting pushed back, but they do look like they take damage, and they were looking really rough. Like they're not dead, but like they don't really have a lot of hit points, so they look messed up from this. And instead of looking like they want to kill you, they're now looking like they want to just get out of here. Like they're not.
Flee.
Yes.
Okay, now it's the Royal's turn. He is going to. He's going to kind of look around at the tide, the battle turning, and to arms, my friend, especially you, Arp. And he's going to use his croaked decree, and then is going to also make a one attack against Venrilla with his spear, 14 to hit.
Misses. And since he missed, I'm going to use a superiority dice and return the favor.
And riposte. So you're going to return to miss him?
No, I'm riposting, sweetheart.
I
18
was
to hit.
making- Yeah, that hits.
So sassy.
So sassy.
Don't forget you get to add your superior dice to the damage too.
Oh, that's right. So I need an extra d8. So 9 plus 8.
17. Okay, he's not dead, but spear him through and he goes down to one knee. He's like, I refuse to bend the knee.
You're already bending your knee?
And he looks really messed up. He looks really.
Yes.
And that's his turn. That brings us to Vichy.
Finishing blow. And this time I'll remember my sneak attack die because I got way too excited about Divine Smite earlier and forgot that I could have had that. So I'm sorry, you could have had a really dramatic finishing move.
It's all good. You take the dramatic.
That definitely hit.
So, meh.
And yeah, how do you want to kill him?
Decapitation. Can you decapitate with a rapier?
Yeah,
Depends
you
on
actually
what kind of
can.
rapier.
Because it's actually a rapier, not like a fencing flail. It actually has an
right.
edge.
Then absolutely. As he's down, I don't even need to say anything because I'm just really confident that I look really cool doing it. And I'll bring the rapier around him with a really elegant motion, slicing his head off.
Okay. As soon as you do, you hear this like weird whimpering sound coming from the giant toad behind you.
Don't. Okay. Then I'll turn around, and if I see him, I'll move to the side so he can see that, but also I'm not in range. Can I do that? Like
Not without taking an attack of opportunity or using bonus action disengage, which you can do.
Actually, yeah, I have disengage.
You have
Yeah.
cunning action, so
I'll do that then.
At level 2?
level 2 is when rogues get cunning action.
Yes, starting at second level. My bonus action then, yeah, I will disengage and move 30 feet away.
Okay. So that's going to mean it is now Arp's turn, who is going to bound towards Finrilla and will make an attack against Finrilla.
Oh,
15
I
to
thought
hit.
you'd follow me. God damn it.
Say
Oh,
again?
and not, so 19 to hit because he has advantage because of what the prince did.
Yes, that hits.
Okay, you take 7 points of piercing damage.
So I am going to go ahead and use one more superiority dice to parry. I think that's the right one. Yes. I'm going to reduce the damage by the number I roll on my superiority dice plus 4. So
Okay.
1d8 plus 4.
Okay. So you reduce all of the damage, all the piercing damage. You still take 4 poison damage
Fair enough.
as its sticky tongue hits you and you are grappled. You look miffed.
I want to make some sort of joke, but I can't think of a joke regarding being grappled by a tongue, and so I'm miffed at myself.
Well, I mean, there's bondage jokes. You could always go with that.
Yeah, but I couldn't think of what to actually say.
Oh,
But he's a
sorry.
frog, and he's using his tongue in that kiss. Clearly, he's French.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank
Follow
you,
up
Jessica.
joke about frog's legs.
Ed, it's your turn.
Come on, Ned, do it.
Oh, it's Ned's turn?
Yeah.
Well, Tonguey McTongerson over there probably could use a crossbow bolt as well. So I'm going to send one his way.
Okay.
But I'm going to miss this time
You're gonna
because
miss pretty horribly.
trying really hard not to laugh about the escargot trying to make out with Venrilla.
Okay, the soldier toads, the bullywugs, now that they've seen their prince dead, ghost of their party dead, are just gonna drop their weapons and run. You can make an attack of opportunity against one of them, or are you gonna just let them go?
Do any of them look like they have, of any of the 3 that we're about to run from where I'm at, look like they're wearing anything of value or might
They're
have
pretty much
something on
just
them?
in rags, and they have their spear. They have their spear, and then they're in rags. They're serfs. all their stuff of value seems they seem to be like a very specific type of monarchy, and that the prince owned just about everything.
Okay, in which case I wouldn't go after them. I have what I want.
They all scatter. And that brings us to that would bring us to Marsh.
Wait.
Yeah, it wasn't your turn. It just you had the opportunity to attack it
An opportunity to attack. Okay, got it.
if you wanted to. Marsh.
So, let's see here.
Were we trying to kill them all at this point? Was that
Pretty
what
much
was...
the only thing you have left is that Cinderella is up to Arp, the giant toad.
I'm getting
Yeah, okay.
connected in a very weird way.
I will go up and stab with rapier. Oops, that was supposed to be Marsh. And I didn't even do it right.
That's a hit.
Oh, okay. What do I have?
Okay, Arp is eating a little bit, crying from watching you die.
Mike,
He's Arp is looking really hurt. He's crying. He's bleeding, but he's still up. And that would be Vinrilla.
Yeah.
I am going to try to actually like slice his tongue.
Okay. Well, clarification: are you trying to break the grapple, or are you trying to kill him?
I'm trying to attack it, but I mean, this is just a flare thing. I am attacking it,
Okay.
but Vinrilla's like attacking like in between her and the tongue, like trying to do as much damage to the tongue itself.
Okay.
But that's just a flavor thing.
Okay. I just wanted to know. Yeah, that hits.
I did just realize there's also anime and tentacle jokes that we could have made about the tongue and just forgot about.
Oh yeah, so much.
Yeah, and you sever the tongue, Arp vomits and dies in the swamp. Unless you weren't trying to kill it.
No, Vinrilla felt very threatened by a giant toad, and she was afraid it was going to try to swallow her.
Okay, so you have this ruins of this camp out in front of you. Yuki has the crown in her hand. You realize the crown is pretty much solid gold. There's rubies encrusted. You think you could probably...
Is there anything magical about it?
Magical? No. Well, not that you can tell. Does anybody... Yeah, so there's an encampment. Ryuki has a crown. Anything else?
I think we needed to actually rest for the night because we'd been traveling most of the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
So the question is are we resting in this encampment? Or are we going to gather up anything of use and try to move away and do our own?
Well, we already know that this camp is at least effective, or they wouldn't be set up here. Can we do like does someone with a better survival check than me want to check and maybe see if they would know if this is good enough for the night, how we're feeling, or if we want to risk going further ahead a bit?
Okay.
Ned
Ned.
feels like he's got an idea.
What's your idea, Ned?
So
Scott's
there-
gonna kill us.
it's solid ground, which is extremely useful in the swamp. Like you guys hadn't been bushing around during that fight, which is why you weren't in difficult terrain the entire time. So it's pretty flat, it being that it is a swamp. I will say with that nat 20, Ned, while you're kind of assessing, your feet pick something. It looks black, made out of some type of glass. Looks like a fishbowl, but like tube with metal reinforcement brackets around it and tubes coming out that lead to some type of backpack.
Diving gear. Dibs. Just because I want it.
I guess if we're sticking around a while, I would ritual cast detect magic just to see if anything happens to pop up.
The glass helmet and backpack radiate magic. The crown does not.
I was like,
What?
that's magic. I didn't expect that.
What kind of magic?
Transmutation? I actually don't know what a helm of the water action would radiate. I'm gonna go with. Oh yeah.
Yeah, true.
Can I inspect it, or like who has it? Did anyone pick it up?
I think Ned found it, but we're all just kind of looking at it.
Kind of oddly poking at it.
Ned probably nudged it with his boot.
Like, oh.
If the crown has no, like, on a closer inspection that I look at it and it has no magic or anything, it's mentally going to be worthless to me. So they're gonna, or did you point that out? So everyone's looking at that? I'm going to run up.
When you point that out, I need Vanrilla, Vichy, and we'll say Ned all to make intelligence.
All right.
You
Okay.
said intelligence?
Yeah, intelligence. Basically, you're making an appraisal check.
Oh, okay.
Not today, I'm not. So much for being a professional smuggler.
Oh, right.
Okay. So what's
We're
Ryuki do?
distracted.
So can I run up and, because I'm curious about this too that they just found, and the crown's worthless to me, so I'll hand the crown to Vichy and
Ooh, oh,
I'll just run up beside and say, here you go, because it's of no value and want to inspect the magical thing to see
Okay.
if I know anything.
I will put it on.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, the magical thing, it'll allow you to basically breathe underwater and take no movement or attack penalties while underwater. It's what it does. I don't know.
Pretty cool. Vanrilla will actually punch Ned in the shoulder as remembering something and go, "You totally stood us up for like having the dinner and wine thing of celebrating surviving that first shit," and then we'll walk off a little bit.
He just says, ow.
Vichy, on your character, since now the crown is yours, I want you to, instead of just putting crown, I
Okay.
want you to put that you now have 325 platinum.
Okay. I'll
My
take
other
it.
choice was to like break apart the diamonds and give or the stones and give, just dismantle it for people.
325
I got
Great item.
platinum.
interested.
Yeah.
I'll
The-
take
Holy
it.
shit!
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I appreciate
Can
that.
I pick up the magical items since everyone's poking with it at it?
Yeah. It's actually pretty light,
just-
despite the fact that it looks like it shouldn't be. Like, this thing looks like it should be between the metal tanks and the glass helmet. This looks like it should be really heavy. It probably weighs like 2 pounds.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to take that for closer inspection and study. I'm curious, so I want to test it. I just gave you a crown to distract you.
Hey, that's fine. Vichy's like, ooh, shiny. She's already
And
making
Virilla's punching Ned, so keeping him distracted.
No fighting. Hey, Vanrilla, stop punching Ned.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what that was for.
I wanted to roll for something on it.
Well, you know what it is.
Would have been awesome. Okay.
We do already have that giant swivel gun, and that doesn't count as a cannon. So we
Correct.
can just get more of those and a lot of bolts.
You only have really one mount.
We couldn't.
So are we resting here? Long
Yeah.
resting or something?
Sounds like it.
Okay.
Finrilla took a rest for sure.
Is anybody hurt besides Finrilla?
I have a tiny scrape, but I'm all right. Don't worry about me. I literally have one hit. I got bumped into, and it was rude.
I got
Okay.
bumped in. It was rude too.
We do know that traveling in the swamp at night is not a good plan, though.
Mhm.
I also need to say, the helm of underwater action. You get a swim speed equal to your movement speed.
Nice.
Wow.
That's going to be
That's
useful as hell.
I'm a kitty cat.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Freaking Smith. See, I'm a jaguar.
I love it. So, Ryuki, are you holding on to that?
Yes.
Awesome. Perfect.
Currently, I want to test it out. I'm curious now. I want to test it out.
Is it an attunement item?
Yes, it is an attunement.
All right. So, Ryuki, during the long rest, you're probably attuning to that.
And now you look like a
And just
cat
in
wearing it.
Oh my God!
I'm a black cat with white streaks wearing
A scuba shoe.
a scuba diving.
Someone pull up the calico gear of the Rattlebond.
Now-
Since you guys are taking a long rest,
Shayna,
About
remember
75.
how to do links.
Shut up your mouth.
I'm logging off. Have a good night,
Okay.
everybody.
Nice.
Thanks.
You're
Taking
rude,
a long
Chester.
rest.
Nobody